In this video, we're going to talk about sight reading. Okay, so make sure to follow the guide that your parents will print out for you. Okay, so the first step is identify the time signature. Okay, so the time signature is 3, 4. Okay, and we're going to count out loud and clap. This is step 2, and we're going to always count with and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, so I'm going to clap it. I'm going to count one measure first. So 1 and 2 and 3 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and so on and so forth. Okay, now the next step is to identify the key signature and keep in mind the sharps and the flats. Okay, so as you can see in the piece, there's actually no sharps or flats in the key signature, but there is a sharp here. So I'm going to keep that in mind. That's a G sharp. Okay. The fourth step is to name the first note in the right hand and then place the correct finger on the piano. So I'm going to put finger 1 on A, okay, on the right hand, and then I'm going to put finger 1 on C in the left hand, okay? Now, in this step, we're also going to place any fingers on black notes right away. So, oh, sorry, that's 1 on C, okay? So it says in the music that I should have finger 4. Well, it doesn't say this. I should have finger 4 on G sharp. Now, how do I know to put finger 4 on G sharp? Let's look at my hand. So if I put finger 1 on C, that means if I use all my fingers up until G sharp, my only finger left would be finger 4 and 5. And I wouldn't do 5 because that wouldn't make sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have finger 4 ready on G sharp right away. Okay? Now this next step is to find any slurs. So as you can see in the music, I have a big slur here in the right hand and a big slur in the left hand. I don't have any ties. A tie is a curved line between two similar notes. So we don't have any ties. Do we have any staccatos? No, we don't. Dynamics, yeah, it's mezzo piano here and mezzo forte here. And there's no pedal marks, so we can go to the next step, which is pretend and play. So I'm going to play on the surface of the keys, just like this. I'm going to tap and count. Well, you don't have to count yet, but I'm just going to tap on the surface, okay? And it says, note where you have a finger change. And that doesn't happen in this piece, but you may have a time where, let's say, you have finger 3 on C, and then you need to put finger 3 on A. So you should keep in mind, oh, there's a finger change, and it happens at that part, okay? So it's a good thing to keep these things in your head as you go along. Now the next step is to count one measure, then play the right hand only. So I'm going to play the right hand. Okay, so ready? I'm going to count one measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and. 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 1 and 2 and rest. And then I would rest and I would play the last note in the right hand, which is over here. Okay, so what's new about this sight reading recipe is that we're going to play hands separately first. Okay, and then when you get good at it, we can just do hands together right away. Okay, now the next step is to do left hand, and then we do hands together. So if you're in grade 1, I'm pretty sure that you only have one note at a time, except for the last measure, which is 2 notes. But when you're in grade 2 piano or higher, you probably have you're always playing 2 hands at the same time. So in that case, just play the right hand first while counting, and then the left hand and then the left hand after while counting. And you're always counting 1 and 2 and then after that, when you play it one time for each hand, then you're going to play it hands together. Okay,